sieging up, and we do have a load of Marauders going out once again. Of course, the island expansion is huge, too. He could just go ahead and eject all of his energy into mules over on that side. They're completely safe, and it looks like Select now is going to basically counter with his own missile turrets just to make sure that he doesn't try to sneak in. And that's great, too, because it's going to be harder for him to find that island expansion.
Yeah, this is really nice. I mean, as we said before, those 4 Marauders in the medevac just killing supply depots. 1, it's annoying. 2, it disrupts your mental focus. You can easily see 4 Marauders drop and pull your entire army, and then your opponent pushes forward. So just trying to shut that down with the slight investment of a few missile turrets. Very, very nice. And as you said, guards the island. He's got a few on the island itself. I really like this. And look at the turrets paying for themselves here. Gonna kill... Yeah, it kills 1 Banshee. Wow. And now the second one is going to hit some Vikings. Yes.
Oh,
so
I love it.
A lot of damage. Oh my god, doing so much damage. Actually kills a Viking with that turret. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and more importantly, yeah, he got 2 kills, but he set that up so nicely. He knows it was coming. Strelok at that point has to make the decision. Okay, do I keep going with this? Do I commit, or do I just say F it and go it? Now he's gonna break off. Oh, hold on, we got a big fight going on here down here as it looks like Select is gonna push forward, and it does look like he has at least a minimal advantage here, but I feel like these back siege tanks doing a great job, and it's just gonna be siege tanks left at this point. Wow, they're just going to pound away. The Viking advantage there might be big, though. He's going to unsiege them and get them away.
Oh, you don't want to land them, Select. Wow, the siege tanks were unsieged, and Strelok landed his Vikings. Really not a good move there. He threw away a lot of his air advantage there.
So I think that if that would have been like a 2-pronged attack, if he could have there was no missile turret here and would have made it to the island, and then attack, that could have been pretty sick. You know, that could have been pretty destructive on Select. But his economy is just ridiculous right now. Here's gold, yeah, no problem. He's dropping all his mules. He's got a bunch of SCVs over here. He even put a couple Marauders there just to protect. Main is mined out. He's just getting energy off of his orbital right there. This one, his natural's almost mined out as well. So similar situation, being down a base here, going to be to a disadvantage. No real new unit producing structures, but it seems like he's got just enough to keep up with that economy.
Right. The small difference between them is Select is focusing kind of the more hardy Marine Marauder. He's got 5 barracks out, only a single starport, and it's got a reactor on it. Whereas Strelok has the 2 starports, both with tech labs. So he's got the option of Vikings, Banshees, or Ravens. Looks like he's favoring the Banshees right now. Select also adding a second starport. With the gold, I really like Select favoring the barracks play because you just get so many minerals from the gold. You can really churn out the Marine Marauder, and it's really easy to control en masse. Whereas when you're playing with the kind of Banshee micro, things can get a little difficult if you're not in tip-top control of those really technical units.
I'm having a little bit of trouble coping with this little Banshee and Viking party that's going on over here. I mean, just looking at this army right here in the middle at Strelok Zelnaga, it does not look like it even compares to what we've got over here at Selects. And I'm just not, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if his plan is to just supplement these. He's definitely going to probably win the Viking War. If we look at the units tab real quick, he is up to 13, and then he's got the 3 Banshees. So how many Marines? Select's got a good amount of Marines. He could probably do some damage. Of course, he could get the scans off to stop the Banshees, but he's moving off like he wants to do some sort of sneaky sneak with this thing, and I just don't know if that shit's going to work.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. Strelok's plan is that Select pushes with a largely Marauder army, and then Strelok can just roll in with his Banshees and clean up, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's a lot of Marines. Select actually moving in right into the tanks, eating a lot of shells there from the tank. Vikings coming in, but I think he's going to be able to just steamroll right through this. Actually, his tank's doing a little dance there. Banshee's coming out. Wow! Looks like it may actually pay off as Strelok controls the air. Gonna take out all of these tanks, gonna take out the Marauders. A few Marauders running in, probably gonna shut down a few SCVs there, but Strelok really, that's the best you could have hoped for there.
Wow.
And Select looking a little bit sloppy, like he's not confident in taking this to the late game. Looks like he's a little bit antsy trying to finish it early.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really surprised. And here's that army I was just talking smack about right here, defending that gold expansion. And, that was it. It looked like for a while he's going to move it out. He's going to continue to pump these Vikings. It seems to be giving him at least somewhat of advantage because he can drop him to the ground. But those point defense drones coming in huge right there. And that was kind of a throwaway army. I mean, luckily for Select, he's just got such a beast, map control here all over the place. Right. No one's taking this island from him. His natural's about ready to go. He'll probably drag those over and transfer them over to here. But I think what's happening is Strelok is using this time to sort of regain an advantage. In the meanwhile, he's gotten his island expansion, and that one's going to be pretty well protected. So it's all going to come down to really the army composition at the end of the day and how well these guys micro their battles.
I'm surprised how light Strelok is on his harvesters. If we open up the income tab, we can see it's quite a disparity there, almost double for Select. Looking at Strelok's natural, there's not even a full saturation there. Even his main command center, he's now floated up, and he's shipping that off to 3 o'clock's natural. Meanwhile, Select is just really eating up these bases really quickly, and it's going to get interesting if Strelok can weather the storm and 9 o'clock mines out. Because Strelok is getting very high efficiencies in these battles, he's going to be able to last longer, whereas Select is kind of... And hold that thought, here comes a big battle, Viking, Marauder, Marine, against Viking, Marauder, Marine, Banshee. Banshee's coming in, cleaning up the Marauders, but there's a lot of Vikings left here. Looks like Strelok is going to win that and force back Select. Wow. This Banshee Viking play is really working out for Strelok right now.
Yeah, I mean, that 3 Banshees is the magical number. Now he's going to go over to this expansion. He just transferred all these SCVs, and they are just going to get wrecked as their day went from great to freaking horrible. And I love it how the Vikings just get to watch. They just are like, yeah, this is awesome. Over here, we've also got Select moving down. He might be able to take out the, smart. He just goes ahead and lifts it up, so he's going to try to go for an assault on the gold. He's just getting whatever he can right here. In the meanwhile, nothing really going on, but we do have some Thor being thrown into play here, and he's going to try to reduce the numbers of this air unit. We do have one Banshee going down, a second one as well, and suddenly it's going to be bad news for these Vikings as that army is diminished to almost nothing with the help of that Thor and these Marines who will undoubtedly get a medal at the end of the day. It looks like I'm not sure what even happened over here at the stop. I see the dropship is just sitting there, but it looks now like Strelok is ready to move forward. And he may have had some weaker armies in the past, but I really feel like Strelok just threw away his air so he could use this ground army.
And here he comes, sieging up, trying to get around this center piece of terrain. He does break through. He's got control, but Select, with that superior economy, just has so many reinforcements. But he runs right into the tanks. Now landing the Vikings to try to flank and take out the tanks. Marauders trying to deal with that, and the big Thors are going to come in and shut everything down. So now Select has regained a bit of map control, but Strelok is not done. Flooding in units, the Vikings forced to land again to try to deal with these Marauders. First Thor goes down. Looks like Select, it's too close to call. Looks like, oh my god, Strelok breaks through, and he's now got access to this 9 o'clock expansion. Planetary Fortress up there. I can't believe he broke through there. Select has to be a little bit more careful with his armies. He needs to be a little more crisp with his units. Select also dropping on the bottom right expansion, so he's going to shut that down from Strelok. Strelok has to find time to load up something and fly over there, get a Banshee over there or something, because he really needs that island. And again, at the 3 o'clock natural, here comes some more Marauders to shut that down.
My God.
So Strelok is going to be largely on one mining base if he doesn't kind of stabilize all these problems that are happening right now.
Yeah, not good at all. And, you have more experience than I do in that realm, but this, map looks like a Brood War map right here. It really kind of just impressive how this game is actually played out here. Strelok will stop that, but gosh, at what cost? He's lifted that CC. He's got another army moving out, and it's just like every moment you think one guy's got the advantage, and then he's able to sort of equalize things. And, Select is really good with his drop micro, I have to say, and not so much as actual drop micro, but hold on. Here we go as they're going to stim up. We do have the siege tanks in the back, and it looked like he might have the slide height advantage with those
This
siege
is it.
tanks. They're going to move forward, and Strelok has to GG and select. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. A great, great game there, and Select will take that first game. Nicely done.
Yeah, he did really well in that game. Actually, Strelok was doing, coming back a little bit with that Banshee Viking, but uh, Select really just stuck with the fundamentals. I like to see someone not get too fancy, not overcomplicate things. He just drove through with the units that work and really just focused on his economy. One thing I'm surprised from both players is the upgrades. I saw someone mentioning upgrades in the chat. Select only with +1 attack, and yeah, I think he actually had +1 vehicle weapons. Yes, and Strelok with just 0 on everything. So I'm really surprised to see that from these players.
I was surprised too. At one point, actually, during the game, I had saw that someone had finally started researching, and then it quickly was on the other side, +1 attack for ground. And you'd think with a game that lasts this long with this much base, but really it just went into those enormous amounts of battles that these guys had. If you went back and counted the actual number of engagements that these two had, including drops and harassment, there was a lot of action going on here in game number 1.